very recently, just last week, launched the Urgent Animal Care Fund. There's a couple of reasons for why we did this. And of course, I'll give you all the information about how people can get involved as well. What we're finding in this time right now, with this pandemic going on, our animal centers are closed to the public at this time. So, of course, that's following the government's guidelines. We want to make sure we're protecting our communities. And so you're unable to visit one of our centers in order to adopt or foster at this time because we really want to make sure people are staying home and following those guidelines so that they're nice and safe. That said, this means that we have animals in our care for a little bit longer. And in that case, we will be sort of, I guess you could say, accruing, more costs to help care for these animals on a more long-term basis. We're quite used to the flow of having an animal come in. We give it any necessary care, and then essentially it gets adopted a short time after. But this is a very unique situation. So, while the animals are with us, it's still standard that we have our animal care staff going in. They have been deemed essential. And of course they would be. Somebody needs to care for our furry friends. So, our staff are still going in, still providing all of that care. Of course, everything regular that goes on with feeding, any medications. And of course, if any of our animals, of course, need to see a veterinarian, we'll address those situations as well. So that sort of gives you an idea of why we are needing the fund at this time to help us to keep running smoothly as we are. And then there's also a secondary piece that's a little bit new to us. And new to, I guess, maybe many people right now, which is that we have our 310 SPCA phone number, which people can call if they need help, whether it be, a lot of people are out of work right now, so they may be experiencing financial hardships. Perhaps they're having difficulty getting access to food or necessary items for their pet. So they're calling us, and we're getting quite a bit of those calls. They've grown quite a bit since everything's been going on. So we are, of course, taking these calls in and triaging them as necessary. Whether that be, talking to people about how we can make a financial plan, with a veterinarian, a local veterinarian for them so that they can afford that care. Maybe we can help get them access to food that's easier for them to utilize. So, with all that going on as well, of course, that's sort of changed the scope of some of our work. And again, really trying to support our communities. That's the number one thing, and make sure animals are staying home. We want animals with their families at this time. That's the best place for them. So how can we help people do that?
And so, if you want to help out then with these, funds, how can they do that?
So the best thing to do is check out the website, and that's the best place because, of course, donating online is the best way to do it right now with trying to stay home. The website is urgentanimalcarefund.ca. And on that website, you'll also see a great list of all of the participating SPCAs and humane societies. So we were able to, of course, have our animal centers be supported, but there are affiliate communities that are involved as well that also need support. In some of the smaller areas across the province, they're also seeing the same changes we are, and they need a little bit of help too. So we're encouraging everybody to visit that website, check out the full list of locations. And, if you have the ability to donate at this time, we would be so grateful.